Hi, welcome back. In the last video we managed to output our posts. In this video we'll make sure that we can get rid of them by deleting them. Let's start. So the place to start here is in the post controller. And here I will create a new function at the bottom, which I will call public function get delete post. Now this function will take a parameter, or will take an argument, which I will call post ID, because we need to know the ID of the post which we want to delete, right? Now to do this, or to actually delete a post, that is very easy to do too. First I will fetch the post, and here we will see another version or another method of getting posts from our database. In our dashboard function here we got all the posts. Now we're going to get a single post. We do this by writing post, and then we're accessing the where method, where we then specify the field in which we want to search, in this case the ID field, and well then the criteria, which is in this case post ID. Then we have to call first to get the first element in the resulting array, which will only hold one element. But if we were to call get, which is the alternative, we would still get an array and not a single element, which we couldn't process then in the way we want to process. Therefore I'm calling first, as it is only one element anyway. Now be sure to know that alternatively to using where, which is the generic way of creating a where condition in our kind of SQL statement, we could, when we're just looking for an ID, also use find and then just post ID, and this will automatically translate into a where ID equals and then whatever we're passing here, method or statement. But I like to use the default way, which we have to use anyway when we're searching for other criteria. Now be aware, here we're automatically looking for equality. If we would have a search criteria where we want to, let's say, get all posts which have an ID greater than 10, then we would have a third parameter here in the middle, so the second parameter in this method call. And here we would then specify as a string, the type of comparison, so greater, smaller, equal, whatever. But equal is the default, and here we're looking for the equal ID, so we can just use the to argument call to this function. So this is the way we get our single post with the respective ID. And now if we want to delete it, we just call post delete, and it will be gone. Thereafter, I want to return a redirect to a route, and this route shall be the dashboard route. And here again, I also want to provide a message. Oops. So I'm just using the with method here at the end, and I will send a message which says successfully deleted. Now remember, message here is the variable which we're then using in this info box at the top of our dashboard view. So let me save this, and let me reload this page and let's try this. Nothing's happening. Well, that's no wonder. We got our logic here, but we haven't hooked it up to the view. So we have to go to our dashboard here. And here where we are outputting all our posts, what I want to do is hook up this delete route, or this delete link here. In order to do so, I'm going to replace this hash sign in the path of this link with a template expression. And here I will call a route, which I will call post.delete. Now this route doesn't exist as of now, but I will create it in a second. First, I want to make sure that I pass an argument to this route, because remember, we're expecting one in our post controller. We're expecting a post ID. Therefore, I will have to pass this ID. I do this by specifying a second parameter here in my route method. And this will be an array with, well, all the arguments, all the variables we want to pass to this route, to this controller action. So I'm going to pass only one variable, which will be post ID. And again, make sure this name here has to match this name of the variable you're expecting in this function in the controller. So I'm passing a post ID and I have to map an actual value which I pass. And this will just be, well, the ID of the post we currently add in our loop. And I can access this as a property of our post object by just writing post and then arrow ID. Okay, so that's how I'm passing the post ID. Now I have to create the route. I do this in the routes file, obviously. And I will do it here below the create post route. And this will be a get route because we're accessing it through a link, through an anchor tag. And here we only can send get requests, at least without JavaScript. And to do this here, well, I want to call a route which will be called post delete, or this will be the URL we'll see. And here I want to use my post controller at post delete post. Did they call this get delete post? Obviously, because I just said it. It's a get route, not a post route, and it should have a name of post.delete. That's the name I'm also using in the dashboard where I'm hooking up my route, and this should be a comma. Good. So this is this. And we can also protect this route with middleware because this should also only be accessible when we're logged in. And the same goes for this post creation route. We don't want anyone to be able to, let's say, through a terminal, create a post, which would be possible if we're not protecting this route. Now here's one thing missing. We're passing this ID of the post we want to delete. Now that's a get route. Therefore, we have to specify the ID in our URL, right? That's where we're fetching it in our controller. So I'm going to add an argument, and let me rename this. I think it's easier to read if I call this delete post and then slash, and here I want to specify the post to delete. Now to tell Laravel that this will not be just a normal word in our URL, but instead should be replaced with the value of the variable, we'll use single curly braces, and inside these braces we're giving it the name of this parameter, post ID. And this name obviously has to be the same like this one here in our controller. So let me save this and reload this page. And now if I click delete here, you see, well, successfully deleted, and it's gone here. And if I reload in my database, you see we only got 3 posts. Now we got a problem. I created one post as another user, our test user here. Now I'm able to delete this post too. I don't think that should be possible. I think you should only be able to delete your own posts. We're going to cover how to protect against this, as well as to how to log out users, because that's something we can't do as of now, in the next video. See you there. Bye.